Hello everyone, my name is Vala Vincent and today I'm going to teach you about shutter speed. Shutter speed is really simple. All it is that it's a shutter inside the camera that opens and closes. It lets light into the camera, then it closes. So it's the amount of time the light enters into the camera, feeds the sensor, and creates the photo. Now, again, this is really simple and it may sound overwhelming, but it really isn't. So just bear with me. Shutter speed is needed for either freeze the picture or to get some trail into the photo. Now, how that is done, let me get to that in just a second. So it's measured in fractions of a second. 1/60th of a second, 1/100th of a second. So when you set your camera to M and you look in here and you see a number that says 125 or 150, it means 1/125th of a second or 1/150th of a second. It might say 60, that means 1/60th of a second. Now, most of us are somewhat sure-handed. Maybe you shoot guns or you're a brain surgeon or whatever and your hands are super still, then you might be able to go down to about 1/60th of a second. Some people can go a little bit lower. Most of us like to stay above 1/80th and faster. What that means is that when you're holding the camera and you're shooting at a slow shutter speed, that means that the shutter is opening and closing at a fairly slow rate. If you move the camera even the slightest, it's gonna be blurry. So you don't want that. Then you need to put it on a tripod. Now, if you're looking for something that has a trail in the photo, like let's say you're taking a photo of a creek and you want to show kind of the milky effect of the creek where it's just flowing. You're not freezing it in time, you want to see the smooth, silky effect. What you do is that you place the camera on a tripod because you cannot do this handheld, and you're gonna open the shutter on a really slow speed. So let's say that you're doing it at dusk, it's getting dark, and you're gonna have it at maybe 1 second, 2 seconds, depends on how the light is outside. Now, the shutters, it doesn't sound like it's open very long. 1 second isn't very long, but in camera world, that's forever. I mean, that is like into next year forever. So 1 second and it closes means that it lets quite a bit of light in, and the more light that it lets in, the more of the movement the camera captures. So you're gonna get that silky effect. Now, if you want to freeze anything in motion, what you need to do is have a really fast shutter speed. A fast shutter speed like 1/1000. Now that's going to freeze something in motion. So let's say that you're super lucky, you're at the creek and there's a fish that comes jumping out. You're super fast, you take the picture, 1/1000. The fish is going to be in focus, it's going to be out there, and there's not going to be that milky effect. Everything is going to be, there's going to be water spraying everywhere. Everything is frozen in motion. This is great for if you're taking photos of kids, if you're taking photos of car, any type of moving object or anything that is fast, you want to have a fast shutter speed. Nighttime photography is normal when you use the lower shutter speed, and that's when you also bring out your tripod. So again, this is really simple. There's a shutter, it opens, it closes. How fast it is, that's controlled by you. And it either lets more light into the camera for a longer amount of time, or it just lets a tiny bit of light in and it's super fast. And it depends on what effect that it is that you're looking for. So that's really it. I mean, there's not much more to it. Fast shutter speed you use for fast moving objects. Slow shutter speed you use for more the trailing effect. Now, and again, I want to remind you, don't try and be brave. Don't try and handheld your camera at like 1/10th of a second. You are not that good. Nobody is. The camera is going to have to be either really light and you're gonna have to stand as a statue, and your subject is gonna have to stand as a statue. So if it's a live creature, I don't care what it is, if they even as much as blink, there's gonna be blurry photo. So that's the reason why most of your photos are dark, dingy, and blurry, is because your shutter speed is too low. Anyway, that's it. Subscribe to my channel. I post videos like this all the time, everything about camera basics, how to do photography. Subscribe right here below. And if you want to be brave, join my Facebook group called Improve Your Photos. See you next time. This is Vala Vincent. Bye bye.